Right. Okay, my lovelies. For the last few weeks, my Riverside Today show has been sponsored by Beyond Sanditon, the global campaign to bring back Sanditon, the TV series based on Jane Austen's unfinished first novel. I'm now super excited to get to chat to one of the organisers of the campaign, Anne-Marie King. Hi, Anne-Marie. How are you?
Hi, Hazel. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited to speak with you today.
Well, I've been chatting, I've been having a look everywhere because you guys are everywhere. You're on YouTube, Instagram, you've got GoFundMe, everything. And I love this concept. And I'm a huge fan of books anyway. So I love it when there's people just going, I love this book, even though it's unpublished, and I want it back.
Right, right. It's such a beloved story, and truthfully, I didn't know anything about it until I started seeing all of these posts on Instagram about this couple called Hayborn, and I thought, you know what, I've never seen this show, but this looks really intriguing. These two seem to have really great chemistry. I'm going to look into this.
Mm.
And I opened the door on this Pandora's box of this amazing story of Charlotte Haywood, and penned by Jane Austen, the lovely Jane Austen herself, who I'm a huge fan of. She goes to a seaside town called Sanditon, and in the first season, which originally was the only season of the book, which was based on the unpublished novel, she meets the Parker family and has a lot of adventures and falls in love with a man named Sidney Parker. And unfortunately, as things do in life, sometimes it doesn't work out for Charlotte, and it's very heartbreaking. And season one ended, and then the show was canceled, and people all over the world were absolutely heartbroken. And they campaigned super hard and brought it back for a season 2 and 3, and we got this wonderful 2 more seasons, and it just has really resonated with so many people. And so when I started watching, it was right before season 3 came out just this past year, and I fell in love instantly. Had to be involved with it, and I just kind of went on Facebook and found this group and quickly became one of the organizers. And now I'm an administrator, and I have been for the last year and a half. And Beyond Sanditon is our group, and we were just founded with the concept that the show is so wonderful, and there's so many Sanditon stories still to be told. There's so much potential here, and in a world where it's a tough time right now, across the board for people all over the world, and we need happy content, we need joy, we need love, and we need to just be reminded that there's always hope for happiness. And I think that's why this story resonates with so many people, and that's why we're fighting to bring it back.
I love the whole concept as well of connecting with people who have this kind of love for Sanditon in common, because also people are bored of romance in the modern day world because it's ruined. It's dominated by Google and apps, and it's way too structured. And I think people are just hankering for the good old days. And I love it that we're all kind of going, yes, we want this back, but these communities are coming together and they're loving what you're doing, and showing their support and GoFundMe and watching the videos and getting involved with what's important to you.
Yeah, it has been so amazing. I have met friends from around the world. So I live in the Midwest in the United States. So I live in Kansas City, the home of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm learning so much about people in other parts of the world. I have met people that live in not only parts of the US, but Canada. We have people involved that are in Italy, in Australia. I have a friend that I've met just through our group, and now she sends me videos of all of these amazing animals in Australia. And she says, I thought of you because I know you love my country. And we just have that camaraderie that started with Sanditon. And I have such a love for England, and London is the number one place I want to go. And so I've been able to connect with people on the other side of the pond, and that has just been such a fun experience for me. Even a couple people associated with the show I've been able to make connections with, and it's just been so amazing
That's
just to see
brilliant.
how, yeah, I mean, it really is a global love. And like you said, romance today is just not, it's not the same. We live in a world where everything is done on our phones. I mean, even the conversation you and I are having right now, I'm so blessed and so happy that we can do this. But typically it is very difficult to make connections romantically that really have a lot of substance. And I really fell in love with Jane Austen because of that romance. And the first story that I interacted with was Pride and Prejudice. And I fell in love with Elizabeth Bennet and how independent she was and how much she grew over the course of that story. And I think perhaps the reason why Jane Austen resonates so much with people still to this day is that there's a common theme in all of her stories that I've noticed, that sometimes life does not turn out the way you planned or the way you
Mm.
expected it. In fact, most of the time, it doesn't turn out the way you planned or the way you expected. And there is so much beauty that can come from that. I mean, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, all of these women thought their life was going to be one way and kind of fit into a box maybe. And then things happened. And, you know, the good news is that in the end, they all get the love that they want, the love they deserve. And I think that's what keeps people coming back for more. And I think that's why Sanditon resonates, because we've had Jane Austen for 200 plus years, and it's wonderful. And these timeless classics will stay with us forever. But Sanditon is, it's got her name on it. Of course, there's, you know, the handsome men and the beautiful dresses and all of that, but there is a very strong sense of feminism in Jane Austen. She was so ahead of her time. She wanted more for women than what they typically had at the time. And that resonates with me, because I just think, gosh, I can identify with this person that lived over 200 years ago.
Well,
And we kind
spearheading the way historically. Yeah, yeah. No, I
of,
absolutely love that. Weirdly, it brings to mind. I mean, I'm a huge book lover. I read books all the time.
yes,
And this is slightly a little bit off piece, but I read a book recently where they had to go on 5 dates, and they had to not give each other anything other than their first name. So they couldn't Google each other, and there was no way that they could get out. You either turn up for the date or you didn't. And if you didn't, then you wouldn't arrange to meet again. And it was one of those situations where it wasn't just so easy to say, oh, by the way, can we make it this day instead, and have this whole flippancy.
right.
And I read this book and just remember thinking, I would love to date like this. And it was
Yeah,
very kind of oldie timey, you know, there's no telephone numbers exchanged, nothing. You either rock up because you want to, and that's it. And I love that. It was very heartwarming.
oh my goodness. If you remember the name of the book, you'll have to share it, because that sounds amazing and interesting.
I will send it to you. I think it was called 5 Dates. And I love that they just couldn't find out anything about each other other than what they actually had in a conversation, which is what we love. And I think this is why we like these period dramas, because they're back to basics a little bit more.
Yes, absolutely. And like you mentioned with that story, those people really had to be intentional with their relationship.
Mm.
I think technology and just the way that society is now, we have so many other things that come up, and we have so many kind of built-in excuses. Well, oh, life got in the way, or I'm busy, or oh, can we switch? Can we be 15 minutes later? They really had to prioritize and plan ahead and think, I need to be here at this time, because if I don't show up, then I'm not going to see this person again.
But that's the
So I feel like,
romance in it, though, isn't it? The romance of
yes,
will they, won't they turn up? Instead of just receiving a message saying, oh, I'm 15 minutes late, my train was late. No, no, no. You had to make an effort. And it's that effort where the romance lies.
yes, I love that. It's just brilliant. And there's truthfully something for everyone in
Mhm.
Sanditon. There are stories of lost love and grief and family relationships, you know, siblings who have lost parents and are dealing with that and trying to become acclimated into a new family. But there is also the reality that life doesn't turn out fantastically for everybody. But as any Jane Austen story has at the end, most, if not all, of the characters have hope and joy, and they find that love.
Oh, that's
And
nice. That's what we want in life, isn't it?
yeah, that's what we want. I don't know about you, but that's why I watch. That's why I get invested in love stories. If I find out that a couple doesn't end up together, I don't want to watch that.
Mm.
That's not the escape that I want. That's just not what I look for in books I read or content I consume. So
That's a great word,
yeah,
escape, because we watch TV to kind of escape kind of mundanity or whatever's going on in the world. We just kind of want to switch off sometimes and be entertained in some way, shape, or form. And to all of our listeners right now, can we just tell people where they can go to find out more about this campaign?
absolutely. So we are on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, all under the name Beyond, Beyond, Sanditon. Sanditon. We
Yes.
have daily posts, we do games, we do polls, we have contests, and sometimes we have giveaways. We have over 900 right now. And then on Instagram, we're just a public page. So come give us a follow. And then YouTube, we have several interviews we've had. I still can't believe that I get to say that we actually spoke with Lauren Miller, who was the costume designer for seasons 2 and 3 of Sanditon. And she's such an incredible person, and she has such a passion for what she does. And we really got to talk about, you know, why this costume was chosen, or what her mindset was, and why she chose the color scheme for this character. And not to give any spoilers, but there are pivotal moments in the story that she kind of told us, hey, this is why I chose this outfit and this accessory. And it just provides more life to the story beyond what we saw on the screen. And we have been able to speak to several other people who were all amazing, musicians, other supporting actors, people who just were involved in the production, and we've been able to connect with. What we want to do, our goal is to bring the show back. So mainly we have a petition. So really, obviously I can't share a link over the radio, but if you just go to Google and type in petition beyond Sanditon or petition bring back Sanditon, it'll pop us up. We have over 41,000 signatures,
Oh,
which is
wow.
pretty amazing. Yes, we're very proud of that.
Yeah, that's
there
really
are
good.
Yeah, so we are not the original group that worked to bring the show back after season one. We are just kind of separately our own thing, but we're so grateful for everything they did. And I know there are other groups out there, but for us in particular, we are Beyond Sanditon, and we have the hashtag Bring Back Sanditon. So come join the fun on social media. We've got fan videos on YouTube. I've learned how to make using Charlotte and Alexander and Samuel and just everyone. So yeah, everybody loves a good fan video. Are you familiar with fan videos?
I am indeed, but I actually, when I first came across Bring Back Sanditon and you guys Beyond Sanditon, so a really good friend of mine, she was actually the makeup artist for Sanditon. So she wants Sanditon back as well. She loved doing it. She loves doing. So she does a lot of the ensemble cast, which so the hair and the makeup and everything that's just involved with it. She loves sharing it because it's all just a little bit different from the kind of modern day jobs that she gets to work on. But yeah, and what we will do as well is we will, as this is going out, I'll make sure that if all of the listeners pop onto either my Twitter or Instagram at Nutty Butty or directly onto the station at This Is Riverside, we'll put the GoFundMe and the petition details up on there as well. So it's nice and easy for people to just click away.
Oh my goodness, that would be wonderful. We would be so appreciative. It's amazing. I mean, it grows every day. I will say we are not on Twitter or X. We really just thrive on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And then of course we have the GoFundMe and then our petition. So as long as that petition is growing, and it is every day, we just continue to just forge ahead. And we're just so thankful to Red Planet Pictures and Masterpiece PBS here in the States is how we got to see the show. They've just created this wonderful show, and we just know there's so many further Sanditon stories to tell. So yeah, if you would share our information, we would appreciate that so much.
Definitely. And I'm going to point out as well to our listeners that it's not just a new series that you want. You're happy as to in any way. So even if it's a Christmas special or a film, you want Sanditon in any way, you can get it, don't you?
Absolutely. Anything we can get. We're ourselves, we're casting a wide net. So whether it's a special, like perhaps a Christmas special or another series or even a movie, I don't want to compare productions because Downton Abbey is a completely different show, but I'm a huge Downton Abbey fan, and it's amazing, and I love that show so much. And they're working on a third movie right now, so I thought, let's keep this net open. If it's a movie we get, wonderful. If it's a Christmas special, anything. We just want to know what comes next for all these characters.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck in bringing back Sanditon, and I hope that your journey in actually promoting this campaign brings you over to Blighty. Surely you should come to London. That must be some sort of rite of passage for you.
Oh my goodness, it's a lifelong dream. I have an art canvas of Trafalgar Square. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Trafalgar Square and Big Ben. Someday I will hear Big Ben chime. It's going to happen. I love it. I wish I could make my text tone Big Ben chiming, but I think it would probably annoy the people around me. But I'm just
very
fascinated.
likely.
I'm very much an Anglophile, and I have lots of English and Scottish blood in me as well as Italian. So lots of culture there that I want to explore. So you have a beautiful country, a beautiful nation.
Oh, thank you so much. Anne-Marie, it's been great chatting to you here for Riverside Radio, and all the best of luck with bringing back Sanditon, and I'll keep an eye on the campaign.
Hazel, thank you so much for having us. We're so grateful, and you've just been such a joy to work with. Thank you so much for making time.
You are very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.